Hello everyone, Namaskar and welcome to Maths Guidance. So we have discussed all the theories related to chapter 4, that is linear equations in two variables. We have discussed the standard form of linear equation in two variables. We have discussed the solutions of linear equations, and then we discussed the graphs of linear equations in two variables, and we discussed some special graphs, that is x equal to 0, y equal to 0, or any value of x as x equal to 4 or y equal to 5. We discussed the graph also, we plotted the graphs also, and we have solved some questions, we have solved some examples also. And now I want to dedicate this lecture 4 to only the questions part of this chapter. We will discuss the whole chapter. We have already discussed the questions, but I want to discuss some more questions that are good for the examination point of view, and that are very good questions. So let us start the lecture 4, and let us start the question and answer session. Thank you very much. So friends, let's start with this simple question, that draw the graph of each of the following linear equations in two variables. First one is x minus y equal to 2, and second one is 3 equal to 2x plus y. Okay, so we will solve first one. The equation we have been given is x minus y is equal to 2. So we will write it in terms of y. Y equal to 2, sorry, y equal to x minus 2. Y will come this side, so x minus 2. Now we will draw the table. Let us draw the table for the corresponding value of, let us suppose x is equal to 2. So what will come? Y. 2 minus 2 equal to 0. Now let us suppose x equal to 4. So y equal to 2. Now let us draw the graph. Let us draw the graph. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 1, this is 2. Okay, we don't need the negatives, so let us focus on the positive values only. So for x equal to 2, y equal to 0, that means this will be the point 2 0. Second one is x equal to 4 and y equal to 2, so this will be the point. So we will join these 2 points like this, and we will extend it in both the sides. So this is A and this is B. This is 2 0 and this is 4 2. So this will be the required graph of x minus y equal to 2. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now let's do the second one. The equation is 3 is equal to 2x plus y. Okay, this implies y is equal to 3 minus 2x. Now we will draw the table. X and y. So if x equal to 0, then y is equal to 3 minus 0 equal to 3. So when x is 0, then y is 3. Now if x equal to 1, then y equal to 3 minus 2 1 is 2, that is equal to 1. 3 minus 2 1 is 2, 1. So x equal to 1, then y equal to also 1. Let us take one more point. If x is equal to, let us suppose 2, then y equal to 3 minus 4, that is equal to minus 1. Now let us draw the graph. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 1, 2 and 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, like this, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. First one is 0, x equal to 0, y equal to 3. this will be the origin. So first point will be like this, 0 3. Okay, second one is 1 1 1 1, it will be here. Third one is we calculated 2 and minus 1. When x equal to 2, then y equal to minus 1. So 2 and minus 1, it will be lying here. Now you have to draw all these 3 points. Okay, and you can extend it like this. So this is A, this is B, this is C. This point is 1 1, this point is 0 3. So this will be the required graph. We have plotted 3 points, you can ignore this one also. With 2 points also you can draw the graph. I hope the plotting of graphs is clear now. I have already discussed so many questions, but in order to make it understand in a very good manner, I have discussed these 2 problems also. So I hope it is clear now. Let us move on to next question. Okay, now let us solve these 2 questions. Question number 2 and 3. First one is, give the equations of 2 lines passing through 214. How many more such lines are there and why? And the second question is, third one is, if the point 3 4 lies on the graph of the equation this one, find the value of A. Okay, so first of all let us solve the question number 2. We have to write the equations of 2 lines passing through the point 214. Given point is 2 and 14, means x coordinate is 2 and y coordinate is 14. Now we can think a simple equation like x plus y is equal to 16. We can think of this because the x coordinate is 2, y is 14. So if this point satisfies this equation, that means this equation will be the equations of the line passing through this one. Let us check. X is 2 and y is 14. 2 plus 14 equal to 16, means it is satisfying. So this will be the first equation, equation number 1. Now like this you have to think another equation which will satisfy this point. Okay, x 2 and 14. If we think that y minus x is equal to 12, this will also satisfy this point, because y is 14 and x is 2. So 14 minus 2 equal to 12, it satisfies. So this will be the second equation. Like this we can find so many equations. Basically there are infinitely many equations passing through one point. Let us suppose this is the point. Let us suppose this is the point 2 and 14. 2 and 14 is the point we have been given in the question. So basically through this point we can have infinite number of lines. Infinite number of lines will satisfy this point. We can write infinite number of lines, equations. So we have been asked to write only 2 lines passing through this. So the simple 2 lines will be like this, x plus y equal to 16 and y minus x equal to 12. These 2 lines will pass through this point. So you can write so many points, and the reason is that through one point there are infinitely many lines passing through. So the question is fulfilled. How many more such lines are there? Basically there are infinite number of lines. There are infinite number of lines. Number of lines passing through this point or any point passing through 2 and 14. And why? Because through one point there are infinite number of lines which will pass. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now let us come to solution of question 3. The question is like this: if the point 3 4 lies on the graph of the equation this, find the value of A. If this point will lie on the graph of the equation this, that means this point will satisfy this equation. Okay, if, let us write it, if the point 3 4 lies on the graph of the equation 3y is equal to ax plus 7, it means the point 3, 4 satisfies the equation. So 3, 4 will satisfy this equation. So 3y equal to ax plus 7, and we will put the value of xy as 3 and 4. This implies 3 into y is 4, that is equal to a into x is 3 plus 7. This implies 12 is equal to 3a plus 7. So this implies 3a is equal to 12 minus 7, that is equal to 5. That means a is equal to 5 by 3. So we had to find the value of a. So the value of a is 5 by 3. Very simple. If any point lies on the graph of any equation, that means that point will satisfy the equation itself. And that is what we had to do. We have only to satisfy this point to this equation. So in the place of y we will write 4, in the place of x we will write 3, and we will solve the equation, which gives a equal to 5 by 3. Okay, let's move on to next questions. Now let us solve this question. The question is like this: the taxi fare in a city is as follows. For the first kilometer the fare is rupees 8, and for the subsequent distance it is rupees 5 per kilometer. Taking the distance covered as x kilometer and total fare as rupees y, write a linear equation for this information and draw its graph. Okay, let us do it. So we have been given that the distance covered is x kilometer. Okay, suppose from here somebody is traveling, so the distance, total distance is x kilometer. X kilometer he will travel. Okay, taking the distance covered is x kilometer. Okay, for the first kilometer the fare is rupees 8. Suppose this is 1 kilometer, this is 1 kilometer, so the rest will be x minus 1 kilometer, x minus 1. So the information is, for the first kilometer the fare is rupees 8, so 8 for the first kilometer, and plus for the subsequent distance it is rupees 5 per kilometer. Rupees 5 into how many kilometers are left? X minus 1, and the total fare will be y. So according to the question, according to the information given, according to the given information, we can draw this equation, we can find this equation, because for the first kilometer the fare is rupees 8, so rupees 8 plus for the last kilometers, x minus 1 kilometers, the fare is rupees 5 per kilometer, so 5 multiplied by x minus 1 kilometer, so the total fare will come rupees y. This implies 8 plus 5x minus 5 is equal to y. This implies 8 minus 5 is 3 plus 5x is equal to y, or you can write it y equal to 5x plus 3. So this will be the equation, required equation, linear equation in two variables. Write a linear equation for this information. So this is the linear equation. Now we have to draw its graph. Okay, let's draw the table first, then we will draw the graph. X and y, we have this one. So if x equal to 0, then y equal to 3. Now if x equal to 1, then y equal to 8. If x equal to minus 1, then y equal to minus 5 plus 3 means minus 2. Okay, now we will plot the graph here. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is minus 1, this is minus 2, this is minus 3, this is 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2. First one was 0 and 3, and we take this one minus 1 and minus 2. Smaller values are there. So first value was 0, 3, 0 and 3. Here it is 3, so 0, 3. Second one is minus 1, minus 2. X is minus 1, y is minus 2. So it will be here, somewhere like this. Okay. Now you have to just join these points. It will be like this. Okay. This is A and this is B. B is minus 1, minus 2. This is 0, 3. If you had plotted this point also, x is 1 and y is 8, it will be somewhere like this. So the equation will be like this. It will be same, extended form. So this is the required graph. Required graph. And you please practice this in your graph paper. Okay, it will come in a nice way. The points will be clear there. So this is the way of solving the problem. First of all, according to the information, we have written the equation. 8 plus 5 multiplied by x minus 1 equal to y. Total distance was x, first kilometer, then x minus 1 kilometer. Now the equation comes like this: 3 plus 5x equal to y, or y equal to 5x plus 3. Now we draw the table from the given equation, and then we plotted the graph. The graph will be a straight line. Okay. Now let's come to the next question. Now let us solve this question. The question is like this: if the work done by a body on application of a constant force is directly proportional to the distance traveled by the body, express this in the form of an equation in two variables and draw the graph of the same by taking the constant force as 5 units. Also read from the graph the work done when the distance traveled by the body is 2 units and 0 units. Okay, let us solve it. The work done, let us take this W. The work done by a body on application of a constant force is directly proportional to the distance traveled by the body. Means it is directly proportional to the distance traveled. And one thing we have been given, that on application of a constant force. Okay. So we will write it W equal to KD. And in this place of K, we will write FD. And this F is that constant force. Constant force. Okay. So the equation will be W equal to FD. The equation will be W equal to FD. This will be the equation. Express this in the form of an equation. Equation will be like this: if we consider W as y equal to F and D as x, you can also write like this. Okay, and draw the graph of the same by taking the constant force as 5 units, but we have to take this one as 5. So y equal to 5x. This will be the required equation which we have been asked. Required equation. So the distance D we will take in x coordinate, and the work done y we will take in y coordinate. So y equal to 5x will be the required equation, because we have been given constant force as 5 units. Now we will draw its graph. So it's very simple. Y equal to 5x, it will go through the origin, because we have studied earlier that any equation of the form y equal to kx, it will cross through the origin, because if x is 0 then y is 0. First point will be like this: if x is 0, y is 0. If x is 1, then y will be 5. Let us suppose this is 1, 2, 3. Okay, on this side let us take this as 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. So if x is 0, let us draw a table. X and y. X is 0, then y is also 0. X is 1, then y is 5. If x is 2, then y is 10. So 0, 0, 1, 5, 2, 10. It will be like this. It is 1, 5, it is 2, 10. So this is the required graph. Also read from the graph the work done when the distance travelled by the body is 2 units. So if this is the distance travelled, okay, if this is the distance travelled 2 units, then the work done is 10 units. It is clear from here. So the first question is, also read from the graph the work done when the distance travelled by the body is 2 units. So work done will be 10 units when distance travelled is 2 units. When distance travelled is 2 units. Second one is when distance travelled is 0 units, then it is 0, 0. So work done is also 0. Work is 0 units when distance travelled is 0 units. Distance travelled is 0 unit. So both you can get from the graph also. Okay. This is the way to solve the question. First you write the equation according to the information, and then you draw the table, then you draw the graph, and from the graph also you can find the values of, when x-axis is 2, then y-axis will be 10. It is like this. So the value of y is 10. The value of work is 10 units here when distance travelled is 2 units. Okay. So let's move on. So friends, we have solved some 5 odd questions, and this is not complete, and it will take another one lecture for more questions to discuss, and I have some more questions to discuss. So let us solve it in the next lecture, because keeping the video short is always helpful. People will not get bored of this. So I have kept it short. So now let us discuss more problems in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye, take care.